Episode 34, and this week I have an interview with Long from CardaHub, who's building a whole ecosystem for NFTs on the Cardano blockchain. Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Learn Cardano podcast, the podcast where we break down all the ins and outs of Cardano so that you can mint as many NFTs as possible. So you can clog up the entire blockchain, mint those tokens, mint those NFTs, and send out millions and millions of Husky tokens or anything else you can think of. Yep, that's right. You're going to be turned into a degenerate. I think that's what they call it. I'm actually too old for this stuff. Anyway, if you are enjoying our podcast series, please consider leaving us a 5-star rating review on the Apple Podcast Network. It really helps with the discoverability of the podcast, really helps other people find it, engage with it, builds up the rankings. You should see it as number 1 on Spotify if you type in Cardano. You know, all those really cool Google juicy kind of things. If you love our podcast, please give us some feedback. Would absolutely love to hear more from the audience out there. Now, this week I have some news stories I'd like to cover, and also this really awesome interview I did with Long. It was really enlightening, and I think we brainstormed some really cool ideas in the interview as well. Some really cool things that I think the community might like. So let's get into the news for this week. First off, we've seen the Husky Token go absolutely bananas on the blockchain. It's, I wouldn't say clogging, but definitely using the majority of bandwidth that's available on the blockchain at the moment. People are getting into this particular token. It's absolutely free. All you need to do is send 2 ADA to a particular address in their doggy bowl, which is essentially a faucet, but cleverly named and branded. All you need to do is send a certain amount of ADA to this particular address, and you randomly get a distribution of the Husky token back at you in the near future. There's a bit of a backlog. What they've done is they've done a queuing system to process the transactions and send it back the ADA. So it's a very smart way of doing it so that it's throttling the transactions and processing them in a manner that is suitable for the amount of bandwidth that is available on the blockchain at the moment. So it's a smart way of doing it. People are still getting their Husky tokens for their ADA, and it is absolutely free, which is really cool. Now, what's the point of this? What's the point of a meme coin on a superior blockchain that is peer reviewed? Well, the idea is just for fun, is just for laughs, and really overall in time I think the market may put some value on it. With DEXs launching so soon, people will be listing their Husky tokens on these decentralized exchanges in exchange for ADA. So these people that haven't been able to get these Husky tokens in this early stage of distribution may come into the ecosystem from Ethereum, from Solana, from Avalanche, wherever it might be, and come in and say, hey, I want some of these meme coins. These TikTok investors told me to get some, and hey presto, there is suddenly a demand and a value for it. So that's why I'm interested in it, and why I've grabbed some early on, and plenty of it, so that I know that one day this meme coin, this meme culture, Doge, we've seen skyrocket from absolutely nothing to 60 cents, and same with Shiba Inu. It's just these fun coins that people get into, and now Cardano has one as well. So get onto the doggy bowl. You might as well. It's free. It doesn't cost anything in regards to getting it. Just a little bit of a transaction fee to pass things back and forth, and who knows, it might be worth millions one day. Who knows? We might have Husky millionaires. You might as well have a look. But in regards to the congestion that the network is having at the moment, we saw that the transactions per second, or transactions per day, increased to such a high amount that it was just under Bitcoin's transaction per day on that particular time. So we saw so much activity on the blockchain, it drew a lot of attention to it. Now, in response to that, Input Output have put out a proposal to increase or slowly increase incrementally the size of the blocks on the blockchain. And this is really easily done because all they need to do is tweak a couple of parameters, and one of the parameters they're going to tweak is that particular block size increase. So they're going to increase it by 8 kilobytes to 72 kilobytes, a 12.5% increase, and it just allows for that many more transactions to be placed into a block and be processed. So it increases that transactions per second calculation, or as they like to put it, data throughput through the blockchain at any particular point in time. Now, the other thing that was going to be increased is the scripts, the Plutus scripts memory units per transaction, and that's increasing to 11.25 million, and that is also a 12.5% increase. Now, what does that mean? It means that smart contract developers can make their scripts just a little bit bigger and a little bit more complex in regards to what it can do. So that way, these developers have more room to actually develop in, rather than having to work within a confines of a particular size limit. So that is a slight but really important improvement in terms of the size and what is happening on the blockchain itself. Now, this is only about 25% of what the blockchain can handle at the moment. So Cardano's throttled back at 25% of its complete capacity and can increase another fourfold, so up to the 100% mark. Now, that is just on the layer 1, so layer 1 solution, as in the blockchain itself scaling at that point. But next era, after smart contracts, the input-output team will be starting to look at the Hydra solution, which is a second layer scaling solution for Cardano as well, and that would bring Cardano into the millions of transactions per second. So it's going to be a very interesting 2022 when they start moving into that space. Now, in terms of smart contracts, we've been playing around with a whole bunch of different smart contracts at the moment, and mainly around the minting of NFTs. So this is a cool website. We've got the interview coming right up, and you can check it out in the show notes below. You can get the links to it. But the CardaHub have taken a different approach in regards to how they go through the minting process. Cardano's had NFTs since March, and this has allowed the ecosystem to grow. You can mint NFTs directly on the command line using the Cardano CLI, but this allows you now to actually mint it directly via a smart contract. And I've got an article that compares the two, and you can get to it in the show notes down below. But CardaHub have taken the approach where you can mint directly via a smart contract. So you can use their website, upload your little image or MP3, MP4, whatever it might be, and go through the process, add in the metadata, and you can mint it for free and just pay the transaction cost of 0.4 ADA from your NAMI wallet, or soon to be the Yoroi DApp connector wallet as well, and you can mint your NFT for such a low price, so just under half an ADA. So it's absolutely fantastic. Make sure you stay tuned for that interview. Now, in terms of other things that have been happening in the ecosystem, Lovelace Academy. This team has finally launched their little project. It's not little. They've spent thousands of hours writing this content and putting it all together, and it is an absolutely fantastic resource if you are just getting into Cardano and you want to actually start developing on it or building a node, whatever it might be. So if you're going to develop something, this is a fantastic resource that will take you down the rabbit hole, everything from what you need to build a node, how wallets actually work, with good visual diagrams so you can actually understand how the wallets are set up, and so much more. So it goes all the way down to Plutus programming as well. So if you're interested in developing on Cardano, check out the Lovelace Academy at learnlovelace.academy, or I should say learn.lovelace.academy. Now, with all this development happening, we're seeing more and more wallets appear in the ecosystem, and this is really cool. This wallet is a community-driven wallet. It's a community-built wallet by the team from Cardano Scan. So Cardano Scan is a blockchain explorer for the Cardano ecosystem, and those devs are pretty cool. They're doing some really good stuff. They've built this wallet, and this wallet has incorporated some of the features that people have been wanting for ages. And let me just go down to some of these feature sets here. So staking, that's pretty standard. NFTs is standard now. Hardware integration is expected. Multiple accounts. Okay, so we can manage multiple accounts. Yeah, that's good. Multiple delegation or multi-delegation. This is a big one. So if you're a whale and you hold millions of ADA and you want to support 5 different stake pools, you can do it now. I haven't checked out this feature yet, but I am going to after this and do a full review on this. So if you're listening to this on the audio podcast, make sure you check out the YouTube channel, or if you're on the YouTube channel, check out the link in the top right hand corner. I think it's that side. I can't tell when I'm doing these videos. Check out the links to it and you'll find a video tutorial on how to use the Typhoon Wallet for the Cardano ecosystem. There's these other ones here, Rich Staking Center, metadata, add receipts. Okay, yeah, for tracking what you're using your transactions for. Voting, which is expected as well, because then you can participate in Project Catalyst and vote for your favorite projects. If you haven't or don't understand Project Catalyst, listen to episode 3 of the podcast. It will take you through the entire process and what is Project Catalyst. And then we've got the ability to choose from a different type of wallet within the ecosystem, a HD wallet, which is a multi-address wallet, or a single address wallet, which is how Nami wallet works as well. So there's a whole lot of things in here. This is quite a development. You can get the app itself or a browser extension. So check out the video when I put this up. Now, in all of these videos that I've been doing on YouTube, I have done a lot around the Sunday Swap stuff, and please check that out so you can get a better understanding of where things are at with Sunday Swap. Now, I did a little shout out for my NFT for the podcast. I said that you can now purchase NFT versions of the podcast, so you can store it and keep it forever and help support the podcast development, podcast recording, podcast production, whatever it is. I said initially it was 20 ADA, but people went, oh, a little bit expensive. All right, that's cool. So I made it as cheap as possible, 6.5 ADA for a NFT episode. It's a commemorative thing. It's kind of like tipping me for producing these episodes. And I can pull up the stats now from nftmaker.pro or pro.nftmaker.io. It's a confusing name. But I've made one sale there, which is pretty cool. The other two here that you can see, the one above and below, are promo giveaways that I did. So one for Yao, who was in this particular podcast episode. I gave one to him, and then one to another chap that's doing some promo for me. So that's where those ones came from. But this one here, I was pretty excited about, the 650 that came in. Someone sent me that, and I can see that they actually delegated to the stake pool that I recommended in the Sunday Swap one. So it's pretty cool. So I know that one there is someone that appreciated the video and thanked me by buying an NFT. So thank you. Now, some other news in the DeFi space. Sunday Swap is doing their ISO. So if you haven't checked out the videos, please do. That hasn't started yet, but there is a video that I did from Pool that talks about poolpeak.com. It's made by Paddy. Look for it in the show notes. You can get to that and have a look at all the stake pools that are part of the Sunday Swap ISO. Now, in terms of the DeFi space, Adana have launched their Dana token on 3 different exchanges. I'm on Bitmark here and also on Gate.io. We saw the token launch, and the ICO price was 60 cents, And if we have a look here, let me just try and scroll back a little bit. The price at launch, you can see there it is 60 cents, where I'm just hovering at the moment, and it shot up all the way up to, let's see here, the price is $14.97. So it's an absolute, you expect that at token launches, the big dumps in, the people buying up instantaneously, riding it up, and then probably a whale here selling off, and then multiple people selling off at this point to get backs and recoup some of their, take some of the profits off the top. But the price is kind of stabilizing, as you can see, and then now we're at $6 here, and I think that might have triggered one of my sales. I missed out on all of this. I missed out on the initial IDO, the Ethereum one that was on Occam. I missed out on the pre-sale there. I missed out on the initial launch. At this point here, I was on the exchange, but Bitmark released 30 minutes late, and I think that affected the price as well. So I watched the price jump up. I wasn't able to execute anything, and I just went, okay, I'll just wait. And here it is at the $6 mark. So maybe my orders have executed at the moment, at the point there. So I'm just waiting for this to average down and hopefully get in at a good price of maybe $2. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just holding this one for the long term. Now, other projects and things that I've been getting into is the NFT space, and a couple of projects that I'd really like to highlight. One is Heist on Alpha. This is a comic book series by a creator here in Sydney, Australia, and Michael. He's done a really amazing job of building this narrative, building this story about a futuristic Earth, and you just have to get into the NFT. When you buy one of these NFTs, they're fairly cheap, they're fairly affordable. You can get one for 30 ADA. You have the PDF of the particular comic book series embedded in the NFT. So you buy the NFT, you can check it out on pool.pm, have a look at it, and you can download and actually look at the PDF version of the comic book series as well. It's really cool. They've done an amazing job. The illustration artist, the storyline, the colorist, they're doing an amazing job. And this project is being turned into a full video production, full movie production. So we'll just scroll down a little bit here. You can see some of the artwork. It's absolutely stunning. I like comic books. It's a thing. The anime art, the futuristic stuff. It's my thing. And you can see the team there, and furthermore the developers. You got Patrick Tobler there from NFT Maker there, and also the TV series team that are producing this particular series as well. So it's a good enough series to be turned into a television series or a movie, whatever it might be in the end. So says TV series there. So check out that project, Heist on Alpha. I'm pretty happy I got in on that. They're still minting as well, so if you're interested, check it out. Earth Natives is another project that I've been following, been looking at it for a while. They're doing a really good approach to building sustainable housing. Their product that they're promoting and pushing is a compressed earth brick that is used to build homes. It's very sturdy, fireproof, all sorts of really cool things. You can check it out. But what they did is they built a series of characters that are based on earth elements. So if you look at the different bricks that they build, they would be using different earth materials around the world, and it's made up of different minerals. So they've made these characters to not only drive support and funding to build homes in Brazil and in Africa, they're also doing it to educate people about the minerals in the earth and what there is and whatnot. They've teamed up with an absolutely brilliant artist in Brazil, and you can see some of the artwork here. It's absolutely stunning. Check out the project, check out what they're trying to do. There's some of the bricks there. That's the mission that they're driving for. It's an absolutely amazing project. I absolutely love it, and I do have an interview with them coming up very soon as well. Now, the last NFT project that I just love, like I love the comic book stuff, and this is Muses of the Multiverse. Josh Howard here is doing a really cool series, and it just keeps on going. He only had these first 4, but they keep on dropping. They keep on getting more and more involved. So each one of these is a different theme. So we've got the jungle Amazonian theme, then we've got the space theme, and now we have the Western cowboy theme. And that's the last news item, so let's get into this interview with Long. Now, if you want to check out the YouTube video version of this, please check out the links down below. I've embedded the YouTube link to it so you can get directly to it and watch it there. That way you can have a little bit more of a visual see. I put in some video cuts of the Yoroi DApp connector, the mythical wallet from Yoroi that hasn't been launched yet because it's not quite ready at this point in time. It will be ready maybe in a month's time, but it's not ready yet, and you can see it in action interacting with the CardaHub website minting an NFT. So make sure you check that out if you want to see it. But yeah, let's get into this interview with Long. So Long, can you tell me and tell the audience a little bit about your background and, you know, how you got into crypto space and how you eventually found Cardano?
Absolutely. So, like, you know, my name is Long. I am the founder of CardaHub.io platform. Actually, this is the first time that I am publicly representing and speaking about the platform. About my background, I have about 10 years of experience in software application development for small scale to relatively large system. Along with that, I have a PhD in distributed system. My contribution to system research focus on designing, implementing, evaluating scalable, strong, consistent system. In particular, in the context of state machine, which is essentially in the core of many systems, including blockchain. But my actual experience in blockchain started in 2016 when I was looking for some inspiration for my PhD research. I built up a personal project where I tried to experience the blockchain and to understand it. Then I got users for that project, for that product. And the number of users increased gradually to a couple of thousands of users within a few months. Then I decided I could spend more time on the project, forming a team to grow the product. And the product itself is like a stacking pool for different blockchains that support masternode technology. So at that time, there was nothing like dedicated stacking. There was only stacking and masternode stacking. So after 2 years, that platform is supported like more than 150 blockchains. We ran about 2,000 masternode concurrently on a cluster of 600 nodes across Europe. We have a data center in Paris, in Amsterdam, and Frankfurt. And after 2 years, in the beginning of 2020, the product was acquired by a Denmark fintech team. So now they take care of the product. About Cardano, the story of mine is, I think it's just like the other early adopters of Cardano. I bought my first ADA in middle of 2017. And I still keep it until now. But I was not really into the project. I just bought it and I forgot it, especially when there was a time that the prices go down significantly. So I didn't really pay attention on the project until the middle of the last year, when Cardano, they announced their incentive testnet program. So I started looking into that again, and me and my friend, we built the first stacking pool on the incentive testnet, and then bring it to the mainnet and still keep it running until now. And during that time, I spent quite a lot of time looking into the development of the block of the Cardano project, and I think, okay, it looks interesting, and I could get ready to be back into the game. So here I am.
And here you are. All right. What was that product that you built and was acquired? What was it called?
This is called Snode, SNODE. So that platform is it supports users who want to run their own masternode, but they don't have enough capital to run it. So they can get together and they can join together to have enough capital to run a full masternode, and then they can share the profit. So my pool is like a centralized place where users can come and share and join and share the profit for running masternode.
Very cool. I haven't heard of that, so I'll look it up after and reference it in the show notes. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
And your stake pool, one of the very first ones on the incentivized testnet, then moved over to mainnet. What's the pool's name?
It's called ADAVN. So the ticker is ADAVN. Me and one of my friends, I think we built the very first one in Vietnam. And we were one of the first one who keep it running and bring it to the mainnet, and we still run it for now.
Very, very cool. It's always nice to see representation from Vietnam. I'm just pulling up the stake pool. I'm interested in stake pools. I run one myself, and I can see, you definitely started there at Epoch 210, and it looks like it's doing quite well as well. So it's a decent amount of stake that you had over that time, I think, from what I can see.
Mm-hmm.
It's
right.
Probably produced a lot of blocks over that time. Over 1,000 blocks. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I think we just got that badge from Kutu like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's kind of nice getting those little badges come through. So it's little goals, especially when you're running stake pools.
Yeah.
So in terms of getting back into the Cardano ecosystem, you've now started CardaHub. And I'm assuming this is out of passion. Like, why? What? Okay, let's start back. What is CardaHub, and why did you start it?
Okay, so the vision of CardaHub is to be a hub of services running around the Cardano blockchain. So we aim to provide the users a wide range of services on any type, and our user could be any type who are interested in Cardano. So our user could be a content creator who want to digitalize and bring their assets onto the blockchain in the form of, let's say, an NFT, or they could be some digital assets collector who want to buy and sell their assets, or our user could also be a team who have a collection of NFTs and they want to distribute those NFTs to the users in a very decentralized manner. And the reason we started this one is that when Cardano announced about their smart contract, the testnet, and we have seen that people are doing their own DApp, decentralized app application there. But we think that many teams, they didn't do it right. So they try to have some kind of a centralized application in a decentralized network, and we think it doesn't sound okay. It doesn't sound right. So like recently there are quite a few of what they call NFT drops in Cardano market. And do you know how the other team are doing that out there? So the users are given some address, just an address to some private wallet, and the user, they don't have control over those wallets, and they have to trust the team and to send their ADA, their coin, the token into that wallet, and hopefully the team will return the NFT back to the users. And to me, it's a big no, because I don't know, why do we need to trust in this kind of environment where you can totally trust into the system? You don't need to trust people. That's why we started this service, and we aim to provide decentralized services that the user can just trust themselves and trust the system. They don't need to trust us as the operator of the system. That's the idea.
Gotcha. Okay, so I haven't had to play around with CardaHub and seen how to create an NFT yet, but let me just explain to the audience how it's working at the moment. So a lot of the platforms are out there. You would when you start minting an NFT, like you described, there's an address. You push or send your ADA to that particular address. That address would see that the ADA has come in. It will mint the NFT and then return it to that sending address. So it goes back to where the ADA came from. So you're saying your service is completely different to that. So how does that workflow work then? Because like everyone that's in the NFT space, the NFT space at the moment, is very used to that experience, and I think that's mainly because smart contracts weren't available.
Right.
So what's the user experience like with CardaHub?
Okay, sure. So minting NFT was released as the very first service of CardaHub. And to the best of our knowledge, CardaHub minting service was the very first of its kind that offered that kind of service that we introduced to the Cardano community. It is contract-based. It supports wallet connector to let the user to sign the minting transaction by themselves. So the user will interact with the smart contract, have a transaction, and sign the transaction themselves and send the transaction directly to the network. And with the support of the smart contract, we were able to enforce some of our rules into the minting process to mainly protect the content creator. For example, one of the rules is that you cannot mint the same image twice for 2 NFT. So that after you upload your image, anyone else could not upload that image again to create another NFT on our platform, for sure.
Wow, okay. So
this is how cool.
It does that image recognition.
Yeah, something like that. We have a mechanism to detect the similarity of the image.
Wow, okay, that is very, very cool. So instead of interacting with a wallet address and it's being minted that way, you're interacting directly with the smart contract itself, doing the minting policy that way, and bypassing essentially a step. So it creates a little bit of efficiency there as well. That is really cool. What I have to ask for a lot of content creators, have you implemented royalties into that minting process?
Yeah, we have also have the royalty support in our plan, but it's under development as we're speaking. We have a team is running on that. We will let content creator to define the royalty model and put it into the metadata of the NFT. But at the moment, there is an improvement proposal for Cardano number 27, as I remember it correctly. It is the proposal that this royalty information could be put into an NFT, and that could be enforced and adopted by the community, so that every other marketplace or other products running on Cardano, they don't really need to implement it, but they just need to follow the proposal, the format of the NFT, of the royalty metadata. But the 27th improvement proposal plan is still under the draft state, so I do expect it will take some time for the proposal to be approved by the community and to be adopted by the ecosystem. Until that, we are planning to just include that royalty in our marketplace contract. So it means that whenever the NFT is being traded on our platform, then the content creator can get royalty. But in the long term, when the improvement proposal is approved, then they can get the royalty on any marketplace. That's the idea.
Okay, very cool. I know a lot of the content creators are waiting for that. It's one of the more desirable things, so you can launch your project and obtain some more ADA over time as the popularity of a project grows and improves. I think that might be one reason why the NFT space hasn't grown as much as some of the other ones, because we aren't seeing those royalties come into play just yet, but fingers crossed we do. So how does a large NFT drop project work then on your platform? So I can understand that the user is signing the transaction and when they're creating an NFT, one image at a time, when they're uploading to a platform. What happens if they're trying to do a 10,000 image collection drop? How does that process work? Because I play with NFT Maker Pro, and in that process, you upload all of your NFT collection on there, and then people can mint off that. So that's working off how people are familiar with it now, sending ADA to a particular address. How does that differ on CardaHub?
Okay, so on CardaHub, that is the third service that we roll out in the first batch of services for CardaHub, and we call it the NFT Distribution service. It's not only for the artists, but it's for anyone who wants to distribute their NFT to the users. We have been working with some artists who want to sell their artwork, like from a dozen to 100, or we also talk to one team who want to distribute the characters for their NFT game. So why do they choose us? Because we do it right. On CardaHub, the author or the artist or the game who want to distribute, they can choose how they want to distribute their NFT. So they can have a profile page where they list all of their NFTs or their artwork, like photos, video, and the user can choose those artwork. And when they decide to buy it, they will start the minting process of that artwork. So it essentially means that the user will be the one who mint that NFT from that author, and then the user will have virtually a very clear picture of what they are going to buy and what they will receive after the transaction. And if the team or the author, they have too many NFT to drop, let's say 100,000 for example, and they want to do it on our platform, they can choose a random distribution mechanism. It could be based on some uniqueness of some NFT, maybe some is more rare than the other. Those rules can be defined, and they can work with us on defining those rules. And then the user will still minting the new NFT, and when they mint the NFT, they will be given a random NFT from our system. But the whole minting process is being triggered by the users, not by our system. So the user, they have the full control of the minting, and they can see that their money is going out and the NFT is going into their wallet. Okay.
Yeah, so that is very, very different to how things work and operate at the moment. So I am assuming that the website connects to a particular wallet, and I'm just clicking on it now, and it looks like it integrates directly in with Nami wallet at the moment, which is probably the only it's probably the only wallet that is integratable at the moment. So any Web3 wallet, I'm assuming it's going to integrate with the new Yoroi DApp connector as well.
Yes. So beside Nami, which is supported since day one, we also have some attempt to integrate Yoroi into our system, and we were successfully integrated the development version of Yoroi into CardaHub, and we were able to make the first minting transaction using Yoroi wallet connector. But we should expect that wallet connector from Yoroi is still under heavy development. It's not ready for public use. That's why they don't publish it, and we just use it as in the developer perspective. So in order to use it, you need to have some technical skill where you need to go to the Yoroi repository, check out the branch that they have that support, build the wallet yourself, and install it to Chrome and test it yourself. Yeah, but to me, I think recently the MWO team, the team that behind the Yoroi wallet, has putting a lot of effort on their own wallet connector. So we would expect they would release it soon. And as soon as Yoroi or any other wallet that support that protocol, they can use it on CardaHub.io.
So just out of interest, when do you think Yoroi will launch their new wallet?
In our team, we have a recurring task to check out the repository of every dependency that we are using, like Yoroi wallet connector, the Nami wallet, or any repository from Cardano. And recently, just a couple of days ago, we see that the team has been putting a lot of effort on that wallet connector. So we think it could be very soon. I cannot tell the day, but very soon.
Okay. I think everyone's waiting for this particular one, so it's quite exciting to see that.
We have been talking to some customers, some user. They was telling me that they had to, because they use Yoroi, they don't use Nami, so they had to install Nami, send coin from Yoroi to Nami just to use our system. And after minting the NFT, they have to send everything out back to Yoroi, and that is very inconvenient for the user.
Yes.
Yeah, but
yes,
at the moment, Nami is the only one that's fully supported on this matter.
So can't a user restore a wallet on Nami? I haven't tried. So if they have a Yoroi wallet, can they restore on Nami? Yeah,
theoretically, yes. As long as you keep your 24 keys or 15 words key, then you are able to restore it.
Okay.
Yes, it's possible.
Now, with a lot of these other platforms that allow for launchpad services or large minting services, they sometimes have APIs so that a third-party website can link to it. So imagine I'm an artist, I have my own website, I want to promote my NFTs through my own website because it has a lot of other things on there too, like physical art or whatever it is. Is there an API available for CardaHub so I can talk to it to possibly mint NFTs as well, or does it have to always go through the platform and through the wallet connectors to interact with the smart contracts?
Yeah, that's a very, very, very good question. So, because to interact with the smart contract using the wallet connector like Nami or Yoroi, you need to have some client code, that is the code running on your browser, which if you have your own website, you have to have that code. But it could be possible if we can provide some widget that you can embed into your website. That would be easier than calling an API. We have our own API for the front end, the website, CardaHub.io website, to connect to our backend. We can open it, but you still have, if you don't have that kind of widget, you still have to implement your own interaction code to the blockchain. So it would be, I think that could be much better idea if we can provide such a widget or a button that when you click on that, it runs our code to generate the transaction on your definition, on your rules.
Okay.
And that would be, easier.
Okay. It is a requested feature. So if it's on your roadmap.
Very, very, very interesting. And I have no idea for my backlog.
Yeah, please add it. Because it's a big thing. So like you follow an artist's Twitter profile or LinkedIn profile, mm-hmm. They usually have one website. So it's back to their website. It's their main point of contact where they show everything that they have. And, to add in another one, so, please go to my, CardaHub.io/user/username, whatever. It just makes it a little bit harder for a buyer to jump through. And then they have to look at the CardaHub website and understand it and go through it. But if you can create that minting process through the artist's own website, you've got that extra engagement for the artist and for the purchaser, the collector. But it's still going through your platform. So I'm guessing there's still royalties for yourself. If you're embedding a widget. So that's a new feature for your roadmap. Add it to your background,
sure.
Like you said.
It sounds interesting to me already.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about the minting process directly through the smart contracts. Customers, users are interacting directly to the website. Very cool. Talked about the launchpad as well, so artists can launch or creators can launch a lot of NFTs. You can buy it directly through the website and potentially through their own website in the future. So that sounds really cool too. Now, the marketplace itself. So when we're going to the CardaHub, we're going to see a lot of other people trying to sell NFTs on there, and you may want to list NFTs on there. What is this experience like? How is it going to work on the CardaHub?
Yeah, so the marketplace is one service that we want to roll out in this phase, and it's under development. We almost finished with that, and we are in the final stage of testing. So with this is just a very simple marketplace where the user can take any NFT in their own wallet. So they can mint that NFT from any other site, or they can even bought it from any other marketplace, and they can just put it onto our store, and where the other user could access, take a look, and decide if they want to buy it, and they can just do it directly from their wallet. So they initialize buying transaction, signing the transaction, and receive the wallet. And after that, we will roll out the auction feature for sure, where the user can put some price and let the other user to bid for the bid price. So those are just very basic functionalities that a marketplace need to have. But in our plan with CardaHub, the seller could do more than that. And at the moment, we are calling that feature dual listing. So what does it mean, dual listing? It means that besides a user can list their assets, their NFT on the marketplace of CardaHub, they can also list that particular item onto another market at the same time. It means that the user will have a double chance to sell the item by reaching the buyers from both two markets. So yeah, we think it's really cool feature that we will provide the users, and that feature will come together with the marketplace when we introduce it.
Okay, I've got two questions out of this. So the first one, how on earth would the smart contract interact on another marketplace? Do you have to, I'm assuming you have to collaborate with this, with the other marketplace to be able to do this and enable it on there?
The good thing is that we don't need to collaborate with the other marketplace. So when a user, they list an NFT on our marketplace, we will give them a representing token, which essentially means the key to unlock their original NFT on our marketplace. So that representing token, they can be treated as a normal NFT, and that representing token could be listed on any other marketplace, and whoever owns that token could come to the CardaHub to either unlock the token that is listing or get the money of the token if the token has been sold. So that's the very first idea.
That is a very interesting idea. So it's kind of like a synthetic, a mirror copy of a particular token.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting one. So you mentioned that last scenario there. So if I have that copy and I bought it off another marketplace and I can visually see it, is it a visual JPEG representation as well?
Yes, you will see the same, but of course with some watermark or something that represents that the original token is on CardaHub and this is not the original.
Yeah. Okay.
So the buyer should be aware of that, because they may got confused. They may think that they are buying the original token, which is not. Yeah. So we need to make sure of that.
Yeah, but it's a replica that you can then trade in on CardaHub. So what happens if I'm a buyer? I'm just playing this scenario. I'm a buyer. I see this one and say, oh, wow, that's amazing. I actually want that particular one. I go to CardaHub. I buy it on the other marketplace. I go to CardaHub to trade it in, but then I find out it's already sold. So what happens there?
We will try to minimize the confusion here. So when you see the clone on the other marketplace, you will see that if that token is still on sale or is already be sold, so you can decide if you want to buy it. So you will expect what you will receive when you trade in the clone token. We can do that by updating the represent image of that token. So if the original token is sold on our marketplace, then the image or the representative token will change somehow in their status, and you as the buyer could see it or could verify it before you buy it.
Interesting. So I'm just trying to work out how you can update the NFT. It's NFT is unique. It's non-fungible. It's its traits, its metadata is locked into the blockchain. So I'm just trying to think how or visualize how is that going to be updated across an NFT from somewhere else.
Yeah, of course, it's actually it's not that difficult. Of course, the data of the NFT is immutable. It cannot be changed. Anything of the data that has been written onto the blockchain, it will not be changed. That's for sure. But an NFT on the blockchain is just a reference to an actual digital asset. It could be on the IPFS, it could be an image on IPFS, it could be a video, or it could be anything. For the cloning token, we will host the image of that cloning token on our system. So whenever we want to change, we update it in our system. So the cloning NFT, it just point to that particular asset on our system, and it got updated easily.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So if the NFT is referencing an address that you control, then that makes perfect sense. If it was an IPFS that has been pinned already on interplanetary, that wouldn't work. Okay, all right, understood. Very, very cool. So I want to backtrack a little bit now. So back to the beginning of the marketplace stuff. So if some of the other marketplaces, they force you to transfer your NFTs to a wallet that is controlled by the marketplace. That's true. Understanding your ideals around decentralization and non-custodial, having to do everything through NAMI wallets and connecting through smart contracts, I want to get some clarity on how the selling process works. So if I was to sell an NFT on CardaHub, do I have to transfer my NFT to the platform, or is it directly from my wallet to a smart contract? What's the process?
Okay, so the process is that if you want to send you want in our platform, we call it a listing action. You want to list your NFT onto our store, then for sure you need to send your NFT from your wallet to the contract of our marketplace. It doesn't go through any part of our system. It goes directly from your wallet to the contract, and you will see that transaction easily by NAMI because it shows clearly on like how many token that you have, how many ADA that you are paying, what NFT is leaving your wallet, and to which address it will come into, and you will see that the address that the token is going to is the contract address. It's not any component that on our system.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. I'm liking this platform more and more. It really does sound like it's built the right way. It's built the way that it should be with deals alter smart contracts. Okay. Very cool. So let's have a look and dive into the team. Like who's behind it, who you got on board. Obviously yourself, very experienced in the blockchain space with a lot of your PhD in distributed systems and your experience with the S-Node and your experience in Cardano in general. Who else is working on the project? What's their experience like? And how long have they been with the team?
Okay, I'm glad that you asked. I think I am lucky enough to have the chance to work with very talented people. Everyone in the team has very strong background on their field. And as you see, the core team, more than half of our core team have PhD in computer science, informatics, and related fields. Like Zhang, the one who's working on contract, he has his master in Korea and his PhD in Sweden. Luan also has a master in Korea and did her PhD in Switzerland. And Shanghai got his master and also did his PhD in France and currently working for KPMG in Germany. And everyone else who are a very talented engineer with more than 10 years of experience and who is currently playing the role of senior architect for the product. And last but not least, we are lucky enough to have Khương on board as our community manager. Khương has been very well known in Vietnamese Cardano communities for his dedicated effort on growing and helping the community. And as you see that even though we spread on over the world, everyone in our team has known each other for years, and we have been working together for many projects. And actually, most of the team here were with me in the last Snow project that I mentioned above. So together we built a very relatively successful project, and now we are together again and building the next big thing.
Very, very cool. It's good to build up that relationship and work with people that you know and you can work well with. And it's good to see that team. It's especially an impressive resume across the entire team with PhDs in computer science, information technology, etc. across almost everyone on the team there. So that's very cool to see. And of course, you have a Cardano ambassador on your side as well to help connect. And that's how we connected too as well. So I'm connected through the Cardano ambassador program and gave me the introduction. So thank you. It's been really cool. In terms of the actual business model, obviously I have a rough idea of how you're going to keep this going and grow it. But what's the business model of CardaHub? Like, how is CardaHub actually making money?
Yeah, sure. As you see that we are providing services, so we charge service fee. For example, for minting. Actually, for minting, we have a free minting mode and a premium minting. With free minting, the user can still have all the benefit that the premium user have, but we will put one field in that metadata, in the metadata of the minted token, saying that that token is minted by CardaHub.io, and we think that is fair, and that helps us to get more exposure to the community, to other marketplace. So either premium minting or free minting that the user could choose, we still have some benefit from that. For the marketplace, we charge the seller for a fee when their items got sold. And for the NFT distribution, we will talk to the creator, the author, and we work with them on the pricing model. It depends on how many tokens they want to distribute, how complex their distribution rules are. So we can have a pricing model on that. For it will be different from team to team for the distribution service. But the idea is that we will charge some fee for the service that the user use.
Okay. So is there any way that we can find out, is there like a price list or something? I know your marketplace isn't available yet, but is there like a clear indicator of how much they'll be paying for all these?
Yeah, so currently we haven't had it on our interface yet, but for the minting, you can see if you choose a premium minting, a user will need to pay 1 ADA as a service fee. And they can put whatever metadata that they want into the NFT, and they can get rid of the embedded field that we put in. For the marketplace, we plan to charge around 2% of the price of the selling price of the NFT. And for the distribution, we charge a minimum of 3 ADA per NFT distributed, and it could vary from 3 or a little bit more than that, depends on the distribution rules.
Okay, very cool. That's to me sounds all quite affordable. One ADA for a premium mint, and 2% seems quite fair for in comparison to other marketplaces like OpenSea or Rarible. So it's on par with what we see in other ecosystems. Now, in regards to other ecosystems, how come Cardano? Why did you settle on Cardano? I know you started the stake pool and you're very interested in Cardano back in 2017, but you could have you've got this amazing team and you could have spun something up on Sol or Polkadot or another marketplace on Ethereum. Why did you settle for Cardano?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, I would say. To me, it's just a personal preference. For me, I have my personal reason to choose Cardano over the other blockchains because, in my opinion, after digging into Cardano for quite some time, looking into their code, looking into their development, I think that Cardano is kind of a green field for both users and the app developers, because the chains are kind of fair for everyone. Even if you start now, you are not too far behind. And also the community of Cardano is incredible, I would say. At least the community that I have known, they know what the platform does. They have clear expectation. They know the timeline. Everyone is helping each other. And for all the blockchains like the EVM Solidity contract-based blockchain like Ethereum or Binance chains, in my opinion, the market is much more competitive. And especially, I think it's more toxic to the users. Why I say that? Cloning an app on Ethereum is quite simple. Even my master's student could clone the Uniswap app in just a couple of days in their weekly assignment. And with an experienced developer, it just matter of hours. And I think that is not good for the ecosystem because they just clone the app without worrying of the bugs or any weaknesses of the app. And yeah, the result of that one is every day on the news we can see there's an attack on this blockchain, on that blockchain, on this app, and all the attack they have the same mechanism. Why it just happened with the same mechanism but to different apps, and it doesn't stop, it just keep continuing. So I don't think at the moment you can do the same with Cardano, because at least at this stage every team or every developer have to put a huge amount of effort into developing an app for Cardano, because it's not easy at all, I would say. And that is something that is healthy for the system. And yeah, again, this is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as advice.
No, I kind of agree with that. It's a very good take on it all. Now, in talking about smart contracts as well, I want to back up a little bit. And there's always this talk about concurrency and how Cardano can scale, because you can only consume one smart contract per block. So in terms of how you're scaling your Cardano hub, how are you going to be able to support like really big, large Cardano drops where thousands of people are wanting to mint a particular project within a very small, short period of time? How do you scale up for something like that?
Okay. So concurrency problem has been around the community for a while, especially after the testnet. And I would say the concurrency problem that people was facing in the testnet, it was kind of expected. So it's like the nature of the blockchain, the use its own model. So it's the job of the developer to recognize the problem and to work their way out of the problem. It's not the problem of the blockchain, because UTXO is a very strong model. It just, you cannot use the same UTXO for multiple transactions in the same block. Just don't put yourself into that situation. So for the minting on Cardano, on CardaHub, we don't reuse any UTXO. We don't have like a single UTXO that pass between the users, and the user have to have that UTXO in order to mint their NFT. So each user, they come with their own fund, their own UTXO, and those UTXO, they don't depend on each other. So all the transactions could be just executed concurrently without any problem on CardaHub. And also that would be the same for the marketplace. So on the marketplace, we don't put any NFT on the same UTXO to run into that concurrency problem. So every item, everything on CardaHub is on different UTXO, and those, whenever the user want to buy something, those UTXO could be consumed concurrently, and they don't depend on each other. So we don't really have that kind of problem.
Understood. So unique UTXOs, so they can pass through and scale that way.
Yeah.
All right. Completely understood. So that's how it works. Learn something new every day. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. So we've learned quite a lot about the CardaHub platform, a lot about the team and yourself as well. So the very last thing, how can people find out more about CardaHub? We can get to it at CardaHub.io. Where else should people check it out? Do you have an online community or anything? Where is all the action happening?
Yeah, so for sure we have our Twitter channel, we have our Discord channel, and a Telegram channel. And we will try to post and publish every news or every development progress of the team on those public channel. And we have some community channel where the user can post their question and discuss something about the project. So we are actively communicate with user mostly on Discord and Telegram. Those are the main two channels, and I can send you the link after this one to those.
I've just joined CardaHub on Discord, so I will check it out and see what other people are doing there.
Yeah, I know it's been quiet, but yeah, those are our channels.
Okay, well, it's still a very fresh new project, and it hasn't been really, I haven't seen people pushing it out there yet. But having this explanation and understanding of exactly how things work on CardaHub has been enlightening, and I think people will be very interested in checking it out, at least to give it a go and see how it all works and get a better understanding of it. I'll talk to my other NFT collaborators and see what they think about this and have a little play around with it. No, but it is looking very good. Long.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the project, and congratulations on building something on Cardano as well. It's awesome to see.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Now, I really hope you enjoyed that interview, but more importantly, I really hope you go out and start minting NFTs. I've done a video tutorial on this as well, so check out the video tutorial on YouTube. You can learn exactly how to go through the process. And the really cool thing is that once you have Nami Wallet installed, I've talked about Nami before, once you have Nami Wallet installed, you can switch it to testnet, get some free test ADA from the Cardano faucet. Links are in the show notes. Links are in the description on the video tutorial. You can get the test ADA and practice making NFTs. So that's really cool. It's a really good way of practicing, learning how the process works, seeing how you can send NFTs to another wallet, and understand the entire ecosystem around NFTs. Once that's all set up and ready to go, then we can start looking at real ADA and then listing it on different marketplaces around the Cardano ecosystem. See NFT Hub, Token, or any of the other marketplaces that are up and running at the moment. So check that out. Fingers crossed that you've totally taken this all in and you're all going to be amazing NFT artists now. Let me know. I really do like NFT projects. As you can tell, let me know what you've gotten into. Let me know what you've produced yourself, and I would love to have you highlighted on the podcast episode, whether it's a audio snippet, whether it's a little showcase, or the highlight showcase page on our website as well. Speaking of which, you can get to the show notes for this at cardanode.com.au, and you can find out more about our stake pool, more about our content and everything else that we do for the Cardano ecosystem in terms of education and highlighting projects and everything else. So please check that out. So that is it for me for this podcast episode. If you really enjoyed it, leave that 5-star rating review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Engage with us. We'd love to hear more. Okay, so until next time, everyone, please keep your seed phrases safe and secure. All right, bye.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debating. IOHK, Emmergo, we're not affiliated, not Cardano Foundation. We just gotta say it. A show that you can learn and it's for your entertainment. Yeah, you gotta check it. Don't wanna be missing that. You were tuned in to the Learn Cardano podcast. Yeah, giving insight. Ain't another show like this when it come to crypto. Invest at your own risk. Might not be for everyone, but who it is for, we keep giving you some info and plenty more. Hey, yeah, the Learn Cardano podcast. Hey, yeah, the Learn Cardano podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Keep it locked right here. Let's go.